If the momentum suddenly changes on you, are you calm enough to handle it? My whole job today is to get a deal, not to chase a deal. So the more and more you become professional, the bigger and bigger this list will eventually become. So the emotions really kick in once you activate a trade. Now you might have a lot of preparation leading up to taking a trade, but once the trade is activated, so much emotions come in of fear and greed and makes you go out of balance. So in this video, what I've done is I've actually pointed out on the charts where exactly these moments happen and what you can do to stay on top of it. It's going to be wonderful. Let's get started. How many guys here would say there is a huge problem when it comes to once you activate a trade, emotions flare up? Because this is something that you will always have to deal with. It never goes away. Okay, it will always be there. So you'll always have to manage it. It will be different from day to day. It will be different from the day you have profit. The next day, your emotions are going to be a little bit more clean. But then the day you have a loss, the following day or the following trade is going to be a little bit more aggressive. You see, so your emotions will have a lot of juice in them based on your environment, what you've been going through, what you've been listening to, what movies you've been watching, what type of how loud your music is. It can really get you going. So I'm going to tell you a few things that you should look into experimenting. Experiment with smell. That is the number one thing I want to always tell you guys. Experiment with smell. Say in my office, I have a certain smell that I do. I have imported all the way from Ritz-Carlton in Hong Kong that I place on my desk when I'm working. I want that smell to be there to put me in the tone of work time. It's time to work. Experiment with smells and make sure that you don't smell that smell all throughout the day. You only smell it when you're at your desk trading. Number two, experiment with audio. See what type of audio, how do you feel with it, and the volume of that audio. How loud or how soft do you need to hear it? Monitor your heartbeat to make sure when you're listening to a certain type of music, if you get involved with the lyrics and it's all about F the police, screw the government, and your heart starts beating, you're like, yeah, like, kill everybody. Like, then you need to be careful with trading with that sort of attitude because it's not going to help you. It's going to make it worse, So be careful of all these things. Test everything. Find out where is the sweet spot. So smell, audio, environment. Okay. The least of my favorite because environment, I'm constantly changing places. I do all my work, all my analysis at my desk in my house. But then when I leave, I work out of a coffee shop. I work out of restaurants. I've worked out of nightclubs. I've worked out of different places. And I know the environment has an impact. If the environment is really crazy, if there's too many crying babies or stuff like that, and I notice my emotions are going out of control, I'll have to stop. But here's the question I'm going to ask you guys. Have you guys spent any time or energy noticing when things go out of control internally? You might look at a chart and you're like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do that. And as a trade activates, you're like, great, now I'm going to just ride the trade and so on and so forth. But the pullback that comes in is nice and slow. And the rise, if it's nice and slow, you are in control the whole step of the way. What happens if it's fast, up, fast, down, fast, up again? Will you be in that trade or would you lose balance? If the momentum suddenly changes on you, are you calm enough to handle it? Or will that momentum take you for a ride? This is something you have to answer for yourself. That's what I want you to focus on. The market was exactly the same for every single person, but the results were changed with everybody. This is a common trait that most people do when they switch strategies, right?
Now, are you curious about the exact strategy Navin has been using to approach the markets? The Mastering Price Action course reveals all of that. In that course, you're going to understand the logic behind each price action movement. And from that, you will be able to take your trading to the next level by having a much more solid understanding of the markets. And because you're a subscriber, just click on the link in the description below to access our exclusive discount. Time to take your trading to the next level. All right, let's get back to the video.
So let me move on to a whiteboard a little bit, okay? And I'm going to talk about some little variations, okay? Let's talk about a simple trend pullback strategy. Okay, the whole concept relies on one notion. Give me a discount and I'll buy it. So let's say You figure out the trend is going up. Markets are flying up and then you buy it here. Once you get rid of this thing, okay, because your trade is not active yet, you can actually stay calm. But if the candles are going fast, it will emotionally pull you in. It will emotionally pull you in. That's just the nature of the business. Let's say you are all about, hey buddy, I'm a guy who loves a good deal, or I'm a gal who loves a good deal. How many guys here love good deals? You go to a Ferrari dealership and the guy is saying, we have a used car here for $50,000. And then you have a neighbor saying, hey man, I'm relocating to a different state. I'll sell you my car. I've used it just a little bit. I'll sell you my car for $25,000. Are you going to go and saying, you know what? I don't want your car for $25,000. It looks cheap. I'm going to go and buy the same car from the dealership at $50,000. In fact, I'll offer them $60,000. Does anyone do that? No one does that. Why do we do that in the market? Because we forget this. You need to sit down on your table and saying, my whole job today is to get a deal, not to chase a deal. This has got to go. And the way to really help yourself to do that is to always ask yourself, is that a discount? Is that a discount? Is that a discount? And then if it jumps up more, is that a discount? It's not a discount. Stand by. Stand by. Do not touch it. Okay? Always ask yourself that question. Now, let's take it further. So the markets have gone up and you're like, okay, I'm way past the FOMO stage. I don't have FOMO. I'm more controlled. I need a discount. I need a good deal. Ready? Let's take it a step further. You have a plan that says, if it pulls back, I have a SNR level here. Okay, that's your strategy. Whatever your strategy might be. I'm just saying, let's say this is one of your strategies, right? You have a support and resistance there. It happens to be Fibonacci number. Also, it happens to be from a little drop base rise, rise base drop. It happens to be a supply demand area also. It's all in that vicinity. And you are coming up with a plan, nice and organized, saying, I need the pullback to come in to give me more discount. Okay. Once the pullback comes in, I need it to at least touch my SNR. I need my momentum to slow down. I don't want it to come down too fast. I want it to come down and start to slow down. Okay. Once it slows down and it rolls over, or I get some kind of a V formation, then I know my buyers are here. Once I get a V formation, I want to test to prove it's holding. And then I'm going to buy. Okay. It might be a little amateurish the way I just wrote it like that, but does that sound like a solid plan? It looks like there is a person at least thinking about what he wants to do. At the very least. He's not looking at the charts and saying, click. So the more and more you become professional, the bigger and bigger this list will eventually become. And hence we call that an edge, right? What is your unique edge into the market that will make you money if you do it consistently? It's that. Now, watch where we talk about emotions. Now, ready? Here we go. Prices start to come down. The pullback is happening. Cool. Have we touched yet at this point? No. Now we have touched. Would you say it's also slowing down? Yeah, it's starting to slow down. All right. Here is where you have too much knowledge for yourself. Your knowledge is actually your enemy. You know why? Because your brain likes to do patterns, right? So when it's coming down to here, your brain automatically makes you start feeling you're gonna get a V formation anyways. Why don't you buy it now so that way you have a low enough price that is the best discount you're gonna get if it starts to go up from this moment onwards. So I want you to realize one thing about your emotion. You are not in it alone. You are not suffering from your emotions on your own. It is not you. It is something everyone has. It is something that needs to be managed because it will become a good weapon in trading. So the notion to enter early comes in from that because the brain starts to predict, oh, it's going to do a V formation anyways. It starts to do this and then it does that. Oh, stop loss. Ah, man, he's here. He's slowing down. I know it's going to go up. I know he's going to go up. Buy it again. Stop loss here. Yeah? Because now it is no longer the plan. It is now I have to prove to myself I know what I'm doing. The plan is out the window. The entire strategy that you prepared for, who cares? I want you to realize I am not trying to tell you this is bad. I want you to realize this happens. Just understand how the brain is functioning at these points. It happens. Let's take it a step further. Prices then do this, V formation. Now, out of this entire plan, the next stage doesn't come and we say, we hit the buy. We didn't buy it over here because we were too good for that, but we're not good enough here to be calmer. Have you chased it in these areas? Yes? Because, oh, it's leaving. Oh, it's working. But the plan is not done yet. It looks like, oh, it's leaving. And what's the logic? I'll put a stop loss here and then we'll see. The whole purpose of your test for proof is so it doesn't do this. Now, I'm going to talk to you a little bit of a flip scenario. How many guys here would say you don't have an aggression problem, you have a conservative problem? How many guys here are on the other side of the spectrum? Like more on the conservative side, like Navin, all the stuff you're telling me, I don't really have a problem with that. I'm actually very calm, very patient. Let me tell you where the opposite side of the party comes in. It's in this area. I'll show you. The opposite side of the party thinks a lot more. Okay, the opposite spectrum, which means the conservative trader. The conservative trader thinks a lot more, overthinks. Okay, so what that means is prices come down, they slow down, they do the V, and you're like, oh, it's reacting, but I'm not sure yet. I want to see test for proof, right? So the test for proof does this. He comes down aggressive, pulls back, comes down aggressive. The conservative guy is like, oh, no. No way. I'm not going to do this. Prices finish the test. They start rising. As it starts rising, the conservative trader is like, but I know I'm not supposed to chase it. I'm not going to buy it up there. If the price comes down, I will buy it. I knew it was a buy. I'm not in the trade. If the price comes down to here, I will buy it. You know what happens to the conservative trader at this point? Sometimes the prices do come down. They activate the buy, but they don't realize, why didn't this launch work? Why did it fail? They're so caught up in, I need that price because it's leaving without me, but I am self-controlled and I have caution. But now the brain is so focused on, but it's leaving. But I am self-controlled and I have caution. I'm not going to buy it. I need the price to be down in this area again. The whole time the market is telling you more information and the brain is just not picking up on it. It went up, it failed, it returned back. How do you know this is going to test and it's going to go now? That's a different analysis. Conservative traders, have you felt that before? And many times the trade goes away and you're sitting there feeling, I knew it was a buy. Just wasn't sure because the test came in so aggressive. I wasn't sure if I had to buy it. I got scared. And then when it went up, well, I got scared also. I don't want to buy it up there. It's too high. Does that sound any familiar? So what is it about all of this stuff where a person can be well prepared ahead of time and still have mistakes and still have issues around the whole logic of trading, right? Would you say everything I drew there is something that happens on a daily basis, right? But can you tell me one thing? That pullback and launch, does that happen every day? If that happens every day, can I ask you one question? Why aren't you making money? If you understand that happens, you have a plan, you're even a student at Urban Forex, some of you guys, and you're like, I understand how that works. Why aren't you extracting money from it? What happens around the plan activation area? What happens in your mind? That I want you to start paying attention going forward, starting today. And the one exercise I want you guys to all do now is, for those of you guys who are in Urban Forex and all the training that you guys have done, right? Like we're going through to make sure you're a pro at this, right? Learning how to trade the right way, not just wasting time with. So you want to learn to trade the right way. You want to focus on making sure that everything that you do, just be aware of, is something inside changing when certain things happen, okay? The outside chart might have momentum shifts. Does your inside have a momentum shift? You need to pay attention to that. So look for the momentum shift inside as well, because that's going to tell you when you have your losing trades and you have that momentum shift inside, that means you need to work on it. All right, guys, thank you all for coming in. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time, guys, I will see you guys very soon. So cheers, guys. Bye for now.